Morning,
What's
Kevin.
up?
Morning, listeners.
Morning, Kev.
Boy. Y'all ready for a good show this morning? We're going to talk, and because you know that the public is talking things about the interim leader at this point in time. And it's not exactly going the nicest way. Despite what he's saying, you know, the public seems to be fixated upon his half-pint comment. People, this is my opinion on this. Should I throw my opinion first, or y'all want to put some opinion on this?
Well, start the conversation while we wait on Felicia, I guess.
Alright, so alright. Alright, forget that. Now, personally, people seem to be in an uproar about his comment towards Keyshawn. Hey, no matter whatever it is, people have to remember this is the same man who goes out there and feeds the homeless, and he's not picking and choosing which homeless he wants. We don't say he's racist. But I say when you go out there and feeding the homeless, the same race that seems to be having a problem with the half-pint comment. And he's not doing it for political reasons. He was doing it before that. He was doing it a long time before that. He's still doing it. So I don't understand. What is he thinking about it? And what is the party's position on it?
Well, I watching just yesterday we did a curriculum. I don't know if you knew. And we shared out over 100 meals to the same homeless. So it's not to say, you
didn't pick
no,
and choose.
we didn't pick and choose, no.
You're looking like a full pint. I don't want to have.
I only have,
wasn't
no,
like that.
no, nothing like that. Everybody had a free chance to come, deal with us, get your meal. Morning, Felicia.
Good morning.
And so ever since I met Philip, I never got any impression of being racist, or else I wouldn't tolerate it,
Yes.
So,
Oh yeah, that's a
I mean, yeah.
It was trending on social media. You know that, so we have to discuss this and clear this up, because as Gustav said and I said it myself, this is the same man who going out there and feeding the homeless. Before political aspirations, he was doing this.
Right.
And people saying he wants to say because he tell Johnny and something. Everybody vexed now, and they're throwing out all about if this is the leader you want.
Well, they don't want to get me started.
It reflected badly on yours. I've seen it, and I'm like, people might be taking this a little bit out of proportion. When you want to talk about murky lagoon and alligators and things, and he was cool with that at the same time.
About grooming and all these things.
And all these things, and he was cool with that. Now I understand. What was he saying? You know, pelt stone a green mango or something. Something to that effect, you know what I mean? But apparently he getting some kind of attention out there. And trying to get a feeling from you guys, what you all feel about this. You think he handling it right? You think it's justified? And Felicia, I know I had it to you because I know you're ready to talk.
Good morning, Kevin, Anthony, Christoph, Janice, all the listeners and viewers on Facebook. I love this topic actually. Let's get right into it.
Alright.
Let's say I got home last night after the curricule and dog tired because after the curricule we went down into Portisville to feed the homeless. And right now I want to shout out all of my overseas teams. Listen, we gave out I think it ended up being over 300 curricule yesterday, rotis yesterday, which was absolutely amazing, to the point that we had enough to give people, and I kept telling them, when they saw that they got to this, like, oh, breakfast, I told them lunch and dinner, which of course they were really appreciative of. So to our overseas teams, we've been coordinating this for the past 2 months since we planned the curriculum that we get our overseas team to sponsor. So this is the second year we've been able to do that, so thank you for that. So like I was saying, I know I went into a long segue there. Got home after the curriculum, tired, feeding the homeless, cleaning up the office. And someone he asked me, I got a message on Facebook, hi, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. I don't usually, I'm like, I know where this is going to go. And he asked me, how do you feel about your leader? And he asked it in a very respectful way. How do you feel about your leader being referred to as a racist? And I said, sad. I told him I'll give you the personal response and the political response. I feel sad because after a year and a half of knowing Philip, nothing could be further from the truth. And the political answer was that it's kind of interesting that he's being that racist slant is being touted so very close to an election season. And I know they need something to grasp onto. I saw my two opponents yesterday shaking hands on a walkabout. Actually, when I got into Belmont, the whole melee was just wrapping up. And I realized that they want to position us. First, there's a statement. First, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then they win. They ignored us, they laughed at us, and they're fighting a dirty fight right now, and I understand. I understand because, Christopher, I listened to your interview with Newsy yesterday. I'm like, they have nothing with our candidates. And I say that. We are like for 25 years old, Christopher sounded like he could be the next Prime Minister of the country. You're talking ideas, plans, solutions, and we're still hearing a fight between the UNC and PNM about who pulling down who posters. They realize that's the narrative being painted on them, so they're shaking hands now. And now the parties are racist. Listen, nothing can be further from the truth. For those who had an issue with us feeding the homeless, this is actually the third time that we've been doing this. Maybe, well, because you never covered us, you never saw it on the media, thanks to that media. But it's not our fault that you're not realizing that the PEP, and the same person told me that yesterday, he's like, I didn't realize that you all did so much. You are feeding the homeless. You are raising issues of national importance. You are educating the public. You're talking about the fact that Kiss Baking Company is setting up right opposite local bakeries. We are raising national issues, and I think the people who can look past the BS of the racists and what they're trying to mudsling on us would realize, and he told me this, and he's like, I really appreciate your answer, because my friends have been telling me this, that, he's X, Y, Z, but you all are the only party talking the solutions for this country, and I don't believe in personality, whether I like him or not, and he's like, he is talking issues, solutions, and while we are getting all this media publicity, I'm very grateful for people like him who can look past all of that and realize that this is a party that is serious. This is a party that after a year and a half, they're saying, you know what, we are ready to contest an election. Where the MSG are packed around? Michaela, ready?
Nothing.
Sorry if I sound like I'm being a little hostile here, but I am so very proud of where we are today. So very proud of what we have been able to accomplish. And Trinidad and Tobago, I realize spotlight on us, all eyes on us. Just keep looking, because you would see what the Progressive Empowerment Party has to offer. I know you want to give us some negative press, but in this negative press, while the light is on us, you will see. That's all that.
Alright, well said. Alright, so that it could be safely said that is the positioning of the PEP right now with those comments. It's a gimmick to bring you down.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like I say, Kevin, nothing can be further from the truth. I tell people, I was like, I wish y'all could see the film that we know there's knockback cards and lie and talk craziness. But we need somebody who can be a formidable force in this country. Like, not just going around like Rowley and just calling people names or calling them namesake and being spiteful or however. We need somebody who's willing to call a spade, and they ask, I'm being asked the question, how do you feel as a black young woman who, and I said, how do I feel? I feel like the man told the damn truth. That is how I felt. That is how I feel. And it has nothing to do with me being racist against my own. Like, that is madness. Listen, come on, people.
Get over the race card by now, right?
Get over your own racism. Get over the fact that you have been voting PNM because your family votes in PNM because all you're black, and get over voting UNC because your family votes in UNC because you're Indian. Get over it. Realize that that's what you used to do. You know why? Because that's what I used to do. I was voting very uneducated, very uninformed. And now my eyes are open, and I understand that because I have been doing this, that's why the country like this. So you all need to open your eyes and realize that you need to join the PEP, the Progressive Empowerment Party, because we are the only party right now that is talking unification. And it's so weird that that's what they're trying to paint us as.
Exactly.
Unification. Our umbrella, that little symbol that we have, that you're going to put your X by the ballot.
Explain the symbol.
That little symbol with the umbrella and the three people under. If you notice, you can't tell if they're black, white, red, Indian, Creole, Spanish, Portuguese, Hispanic. I know you can't tell. It's no, but it is just three people under the umbrella. The umbrella signifies safety. The three people, you can't see their faces or what color or creed they are, because we're all one. We're people. You cut all of us, we bleed red. PEP, Progressive Empowerment Party, we say no division among races, one people under one flag. So I realize that some people would like to mudsling that racist support. Yeah, go ahead. I just like, who is Captain America with his shield? It just defeats. It's not going to stick because
We know better.
We know better. A lot of trend Bigonians know better. I was very honored to, not honored, I was very proud to realize that there are a lot of people who are willing to think critically. There are those who get caught up in the hype, but there are those who are saying, yeah, this is, I don't think, people that I don't know, and I told, I said this in a recent interview, for the fact that people who are not supporters of the PEP could agree that the media has been having a personal agenda against us. I saw somebody comment on the CNC page. CNC3, who is this PEP? Were they formed 2 days ago? You're fooling me, you're hoodwinking me, because they're talking about the PEP as if we've been around for years. However, this is one of the first times the CNC3 has ever covered us. So, the people are smart. So, I trust them to see past all
I think the fact that the people do have social media in their grasp of their hands. Now, TV versus this phone in your hand, there's a difference. TV is a community thing. Everybody can look at it at the same time. The phone is one man personal. So one man personal will say, yes, he know about it. But when you stand up in front of the TV, you might be feeling a little ashamed or embarrassed to say he know them, and everybody's like, they never heard about that before. You know how journalists get. When one man says something, as stupid as it might be, he will get people to follow and say, yeah. Nobody wants to be left out. So the social media thing is spreading out. When you get in some coverage in the media, that is good. You're getting some, the ideas in the party is being disseminated now to the public. That's a good thing. And even though the public right now holding on to something as ridiculous as the leader is racist, it kind of, to me, it shows exactly how racist we are, of people we are. No matter what you say, Carnival, all the nonsense you hear about it. We are racist people because there's so many of us, different types of us here. At some point at the end of the day, like kind of stick together. That's what we are because there's so many of us.
Yeah.
And we have to get past that. And if you have a party coming at you, talking about issues and presenting solutions to many of the things and many of the problems that we have, you have problems outside there. And we prefer to look at the racists. You can have a problem there because it's more important to fix the community, to make sure you have electricity, water. These things are more important than who the leader is and what he's saying about a particular person. For some reason, pick up a lawyer who looking like he wants to make a name for himself. I'm sorry, actually. I said it like that.
I was really, really upset by his live video, by the way, because I consider that political persecution. He was like, all members of the party desist from associating with them, and you will be labeled a racist, and that kind of rhetoric.
Straight embarrassed.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm the candidate, we're in the middle of an election, and he's an attorney. Is this appropriate? I mean, I know the laws don't govern social media, but at the end of the day, he's taking up a case against Philip, saying he's persecuting people, while he's going live on Facebook using the power of his attorney stature and telling people, listen, desist from being associated with the party, remove your membership. Who are you to make statements like that?
Janice, any take on this? Yeah, you know me how to involve it. Pass it on the back and play.
Good morning to the listeners. Good morning. It is very sad, as Felicia said, to see what's going on after 56 years, for those of us who have been around, to see this kind of racism being melted out there. It's sad. And to think that there are people in Trinidad who are perpetrating this kind of action, and yet, when we see what's going on in America, we have plenty to say about their racism, but yet we are doing it here in Trinidad. That's wrong. How can we be, saying what's going on in America and trying to support what's the downtrodden in America, but here we are doing it. We need to stop it. Really, we need to. Because you know what? Our children are looking on. Our children are learning this kind of behavior. And they're going to get big, and they're going to also start doing it as well.
The other word, racism is not, you're not born with it, you are
No,
taught
you're not.
You are taught
You're
it.
not. Right? Because when you see those videos with babies, you know, hugging each other, irrespective of what
Yeah.
complexion or what race or what religion, they don't, that's not something they're born with. It's something that's being taught to them by the adults. And I think that the education system should try to alleviate that in the classrooms, because the teachers have a role to play in this respect, to try and nurture and harness our students, our young people, and to get them to understand and to educate them that this kind of behavior is not good behavior, because as a country, all the people all the races, religions have come here to Trinidad for a reason, going back how many years in history. And we need to understand it and respect that, and give everybody their due, because we've all worked hard to reach where we have reached. And I was perturbed with Keyshawn Haynes' comment with respect to the post that he did with the Star Wars poster. Now, what I found interesting is that he put it on Twitter, and it was somebody who called me and said, check Twitter. And I go, well, why am I checking Twitter? He goes, because there's something that this guy has put up about the party, and he was also disturbed by it. And that's when I checked it, and I said to myself, I wonder why he didn't put this up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because it totally went above everybody's head, because he put it on Twitter. Because not a lot of people are on Twitter.
Follow his last name.
Correct. And when I saw it, and I saw his comment, now it's one thing to attack an individual, but it's another thing when you attack the supporters of a party. I found that was uncalled for, because you are calling the supporters fools, and you, to my mind, you are interfering with their democratic right to join a party of their choosing. That's right. So, and out of all the comments that I heard and saw, nobody pulled him up on it. Everybody just zeroed in on the comment that Philip made.
He's the victim.
That's right. And then I posted on my wall today because somebody put up a really good
What did he put over the Star Wars thing? I'd like to hear. Yeah, did you see the picture?
Yes, it's
I
there.
have it, I'll show you in a
I
bit.
would love to see
Yes.
this.
Somebody put up
I'm not on Twitter, so I might get. I think it was a waste of time.
yeah. Somebody put up a video where in South Africa there was a guy who was talking about house Negroes and the media, you know, and it was very interesting, and people need to see that video and understand the context in which the comment was made, because you know it reflects a certain level of view in describing the media who has blocked out the party within the last year and a half. And for Mr. Haynes to also come on Facebook to say that he made it his business to ensure that the party did not get coverage. Again, nobody's picking up on that. They are ignoring that issue because, again, it is blocking the people from getting information and having the ability to make a choice as to which party that they would like to join and be part of. They are actually interfering with the people's democratic rights. Again, nobody's picking that up. And I am hoping that this whole thing with the equal opportunity issue, that the equal opportunity turn around to the media and say, but you are interfering with the equal opportunity rights of the people of this country. And look at the whole picture as opposed to just what Mr. Haynes has put forward out there. I hope he has money because, quite frankly, he's wasting his money putting this whole thing together. He's wasting his money. Or it could be that he has a friend who's a lawyer and decided, well, I'll help you out. Right? But he needs to understand that what he's doing is wrong.
Somebody trying to make a name for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes. He's jumping on a bandwagon. And it's going to end up like a pie coming into his face. And people, when they see him, because now his face is all over social media, they're going to be sniggering behind his back at him. Because at the end of the day, he has put himself in this position. And he needs to understand that what he's doing is wrong. And he needs to be put to task for what he has done. But anyway, this is Trinidad and Tobago. And I think it's time that the people of this country stand up and say enough is enough. And we need to start looking to see what our rights are.
Yeah.
People, please take our education seriously. We are trying to educate you about what is your rights out there and about the various issues that are going on in Trinidad and Tobago. There are serious issues. People's rights are being trampled on. Look at what's going on in the Immigration Detention Center. Right? I mean,
probably saying, well, that's not Trinidad, we don't care.
Well, it's
That
not
is
just
pretty-
that.
you know
but
that
on
is
an
the agenda.
international level, we are being laughed at. They need to understand what is really going on out there. Right? So,
Oh, you know, they
That's
hold
my
these
2
people
cents.
from all these different countries, and they hold them there indefinitely. I mean, they would say that, oh, they can't afford to send a ticket for them, but you're keeping them there and how long? Let them go and work and pay for them ticket to go back to wherever country they come from.
well,
Instead of leaving
that's
them locked up
an
there, 'cause
option.
if you keep them there locked up, and you're never going to get the money to send them back, then what happens? They stay there and die?
But let me tell you, that whole immigration is being mismanaged badly. I have heard where the immigration officers have actually written to the minister complaining about the person who is running the department. They have complained on more than one occasion and nothing is being done.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
Right? So again, when the Progressive Empowerment Party gets into government, we are going to have to undo and redo that immigration system. Because here it is, you're talking about Venezuelans coming to Trinidad, giving them work permits so that they can work. But yet, you have Trinidadians coming back home with their husband or their wives and their children, and you want to treat them in a different light. You want to say, well, they have to be in the country for 5 years. You don't want to give them a work permit.
The different Venezuelans
Right.
are cheap labor because Venezuelans selling doubles. Venezuelans working in Chinese supermarkets, working in Chinese restaurants. You see that all
but
the
you
jobs
see,
that the Chinese
they're
don't
not
really want, the
looking
Venezuelans
after
picking up
their
the
own people. You know how many Trinidadians have come back home to Trinidad wanting to make a difference, to take part in what's going on, and have had to leave Trinidad with their foreign husband or their wives because life is being made so difficult here. Because in Trinidad, you need both parents to be working in
Yeah.
order to live comfortably, right? But when you're stopping a parent from working, life becomes difficult. And also you want to be able to give your children a lifestyle, especially in terms of education, right? That way you have to pay for it. And that costs money now.
It does indeed.
You see?
Education has never been free. People like, I think it's been free for years. But
I have a
people
real
use-
beef with immigration. Real. And if they're listening,
Alright.
they know why.
I'm sure somebody in immigration is listening, and and I start talking sometimes that I am not nice, and if you have me on some kind of list, but like, search him thoroughly. Man, like to say, Faris wants to be searched in depth. You know? We can go in there. I know traveling, so immigration calm down. I know keep people upstairs, so, you know what I mean? Anyway, so we've discussed the party's perception, ideas, and their position on the half-pint Negro comments. out there, as ridiculous as it has been, because like I said, I stand by this. People calling me man race, and the man going out there and helping people before he had political aspirations to help people. And he wasn't picking and choosing who he helping of the less fortunate in our society. He heard them say they took food out of people. They weren't picking people when they went out. They said, no, full point two, they all have. No, they wasn't doing that when they went outside. They helped everybody because that's what it's about. Helping the people, not part of the society, everybody. Trying to educate everybody to make the right decision, to make the decision that is most beneficial to themselves, their communities, and of course the country at the end of the day. So, with all that being said, now Trinidad is a nasty place. It's full of litter. What is the PEP's policies, ideas on dealing with Trinis and their nasty behavior? Because the littering causing the place to look bad. It causes flies. It causes rats, cockroaches, flooding. It's a myriad of problems we have because of the waste, the way we deal with our waste, the lackadaisical, the nasty. It's just the don't care we have. I mean, look at the rivers. I mean, rainy season started, and sooner or later it's going to flood. Then you wonder to yourself, why didn't clean it when it was dry season here? We had a hot, harsh dry season. We could have cleaned up the place. What's going on? So, what is the PP's policies, ideas on waste disposal?
Well, one of the major contributors to that waste, and you would see it, is not just in Trinidad, it's all over the place, plastic bottles. And I was going to say something, but then
I will say certain people, certain supermarkets have the brand on bag. Now when you go in that same supermarket, the bag blank. They don't mind handing you the blank bag. So I'm beginning to wonder, you had a problem with people using your bag as a garbage bag then, not really the plastic.
Well, now that we are moving, the world is moving to a green world, and I mean plastic has been a huge issue across the planet. One of the policies, one of the things that we say is to put a tax on the bottle, a 25-cent tax, so that persons who are homeless, destitute, those same people that we met in Port of Spain yesterday, they can actually have an opportunity to make a little small change by picking up these bottles and returning it for that 25 cents. And when you used to be able to carry back a bottle and get 25 cents for a glass bottle. So that's what
No, I've never tried that. But I remember to see homeless people walk around with these giant bags.
Yes.
Right, well,
Loaded with gas bottles. And they say,
Yes.
good Lord, could you wait that man toting on his
Tell
back?
a man you could get 10 cents, 5 cents, 25 cents in a bottle. He will pick one thing clean, you know. Clean. You've been walking for a spin wondering where is the rubbish.
Exactly.
But you're not just doing, you're not just cleaning up your rubbish, you're also giving these people an opportunity for something better. And I mean, it's a start. I would like to do so much better, so much more for the
It's a
homeless.
start. It's not a career.
Exactly, it's a start. A man came up to us yesterday, and I didn't notice it until I noticed it. And he said, are there any beverages with this? And I said, this had to be a man who was very well educated.
Yeah.
And he spoke very well educated. And people pass, and for my compassion, people pass and see these people and say, oh, you take drugs and you never like
Exactly.
it. And they judge and they pass judgments. But I know that a lot of these people are literally victims of a failing society. I look at how I am working this, I guess what would be considered a middle class job, and I catch on my tail to buy groceries at the end of every 3 months. Yeah, I can't buy every month anymore. And I can imagine people who do not have my opportunities catching their own tail.
Exactly.
And what can lead to them ending up on the streets. I don't think anybody speaks up one morning and say, I want to live on Charlotte Street.
Nobody says that. Nobody says. Nobody has that plan in their head. I want to be out.
But what is
What is
being
a
done for
freelance
these people,
liver or
though?
something?
What is being done for these people? Every couple of years I hear a plan reviving, we will take the homeless off the street.
Yeah, but you can't. The see, thing is, they're not. I mean, we've had the idea. We even dabbled and talked about it. If you take them off the street, people want them off the street. But wherever you put them, it's not jail. They didn't commit a crime being poor. They have to be able to come back out. If you want to make them stay inside, you have to make it damn nice for them to stay. But most of them have a level of freedom they have outside. They don't want to give that up. I say this because there was a drug abuser who I knew at a workplace. He chose to be like, he was a retired policeman. He chose to be outside. And to see the way this man dressed for the month, or sometimes naked, and then when you go in the end of the month, you go in the bank for your money, and then he is well dressed in line, and he's He shocked me. He was like, "Good afternoon, sir." I said, "Yeah, this is the same beggar who was me outside." I don't know. He went for his pension.
He went for his what?
Pension.
Oh, his pension.
And then he went, and then you know, and he gets his money. He used to go and buy his thing and get high, and that was it. He would. The next day, there he is, spaced out, and look at it, and I was like, Lord. And then he followed it. He's like, sorry, you know, he didn't mean that. He asked to apologize. He said, don't apologize to me. It was you do what you want with your money.
But Kevin, we laughing, and I mean, it's funny and stuff, but it's a reality though that homeless in this country, people who are clearly not well mentally, they have nowhere to turn. There can't be options between going crazy in this country is going crazy or syntax.
I can't say they're all mentally, they have problems outside. Some people just circumstances have them there.
Right,
Bad decisions.
circumstances, yes, but then there are some people who have and do suffer with mental illnesses and that do land them on the streets, and there's nobody really looking after them and looking after their interests. And I wonder how many of those may have just been people who do not have family or do not have money.
Some people lost houses, some people run away from home. I mean, I do a lot of work with them and I talk with a lot of them. Because I try to understand addiction, like you were talking about with the same guy, right? So, one of the biggest misconceptions I saw is that homeless people, yes, a lot of them use drugs. But the misconception is drugs got them there. Most of them have completely different stories, either abuse as a child and they ran away. There's some who lost homes, some who lost their job, they made a prison and then they came out, they had nothing again. And getting back on their feet was the issue, right? But drugs is actually people who prey on them and their despair. Because when you live in a situation like that, you need something to cope, and drug pushers come in like a light at the end of the tunnel. So exactly, so they actually abuse the fact that they are homeless, and obviously that would come with depression and whatnot, and then prey on them with the drugs. So understanding addiction and helping rehabilitate people would be a big step in trying to get them back on their own 2 feet. So instead of, like you said, building a place and putting them there, you can't do that. But these people actually want to be back into society. They want to have a functional part in life again. They try, but getting off the streets is near impossible in Trinidad. A chance, right?
To give them a chance.
Correct. So if we could place them in jobs and that kind of stuff, they would actually be much in a better position to get back on their own 2 feet.
Does PEP have a policy on the homeless?
We say that everybody deserves an opportunity. There's not a policy, as it's not included in our 21 policies, but there are other policies that are not there, such as dealing with the handicapped, dealing with the homeless. The homeless, like I said, they should be given an opportunity. The first step is allowing them that same plastic bottle policy that we have, allowing them an opportunity to, one, be able to survive. That's level 1. Level 2 is giving them some opportunity for rehabilitation. I would love to see drug and mental institutions reopen across Trinidad, specifically capable of addressing problems with the homeless, with the destitute, with the people who have suffered from abuse, mental illness, drug abuse, etc.
So you think we don't have enough centers like this in Trinidad?
Definitely not. And I was saying
centers
earlier, the options are go crazy or go to St. Anne's or have a drug problem or go to, I'm not even sure now where's a place that I can say, I have a drug addiction, I need help, where can I go? Where is that place?
I'm sure there are places out there. There are some private places out there.
Private places that can a normal Jew afford to go there.
That's more than likely. So you think it's something public that, a public place that dealing with private level care.
Right, and social workers to be out there on the ground level and bringing these people in, letting them know. Because if you're living on the street, if you're living on the street, how are you going to know where, much less to reach, register, this kind of thing, you understand? We need people on the ground level, social workers reaching out to these people personally.
Do you know that Portugal actually managed to carry down their cases of drug abuse by legalizing all drugs? And I'm not saying that that's what we plan to do. I mean, decriminalizing marijuana is a step. But Kevin, I know there's a topic you like.
Don't say how you can say that. Making me so like.
Listen, I brought it up before you had a chance to bring it up. So far, since I've been here, we have mentioned farming for marijuana, farming weed. But What was I saying?
Portugal drug
Portugal
policy.
actually made their drug usage go down by one, making it legal. So it kind of took away the whole
Stigma attached to
stigma
it.
attached it, and two, to assist that, they actually opened a lot of, well, not open, but they ensured that they had a very robust drug rehabilitation system. So for the people who needed the help, needed the assistance, it was literally just a phone call or a walk to an institution. We need things like that here. We need to confront these things. We say drugs, blah, 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 but drugs is a real issue. I know, Christoph, you know about just in your own community.
Definitely,
Drugs is
definitely.
a big issue in Trinidad and Tobago. I watched a documentary dating back to the 80s that spoke about drugs. It's worse now. We're just not talking about it.
The problem hasn't gone away.
No,
It hasn't.
it's gotten
It's
worse.
worse.
It's gotten worse. There's variety now.
Oh, honestly. And they continue to flow into the country so easily.
Correct.
And like Christoph said, it's so easy to prey on the people who have no hope, they're destitute.
And Trinidadians are just becoming more and more frustrated every day, so it's just easier and easier now to push this drug agenda.
Yeah.
You understand? It's spreading across the board now. It's no longer just targeting homeless. It's this the average guy who's working his 9 to 5 or two shifts and needs that extra pep, or that's how it goes. They just prey on the population.
That is something else. So what you're saying is we perhaps have a social, psychological issues or the deficiencies that we're trying to hide the pain. We're trying to numb the pain. in
Numb
some
the
way.
pain, exactly.
And the problem is the pain. We need to get rid of the pain. But
Exactly.
we prefer to take some I'll just say it, use the drugs or use some kind of crutch to ignore the pain without actually trying to deal with the pain. And people like to deal with the pain. Yes.
Correct.
Alright. Giving you some food for thought there indeed. Think about it. We have accepted far too many things in our lives. Far too many nonsense, stupid, magic stuff, like I say, fairyland nonsense. We accept too much of it. And we don't want to make a change. We're hoping somebody come and wave a wand. We still looking for the chief fairy. We still don't know who the chief fairy is. Who come in to wave that magic wand and make all the problems go away. They're not going to go away. You have to fix them. You have to work on your problems and fix them.
I'll say.
Tony, you want to say anything? Or you can't man the story?
Wow, what a morning. Morning Trinidad and Tobago. Well, I mean, I was just really taking in all the entire
I
conversation.
can't leave you out, I can't leave you out.
No, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, I always have too much to say because the country gone mad, it gone clear, it's like nothing working, and you have a body as the Progressive Empowerment Party pointing it out, putting it in the public space and showing, hey, this is what we see as major issues. These are some solutions we've put onto the public space so you can consume and scrutinize, and everybody. I just don't even understand. I can't even understand. And with you starting the show, where our political leader is concerned, my take on it is this. Number one, Trinidad and Tobago, we as a people of the soil have got to have this conversation in a large public forum where we bring in everybody to the table, all the players involved. Because we're talking about a level of segregation happening on the island that, one, we don't have a demographic as in real estate large enough. Two, we don't have a population that is large enough for us to create an environment of segregation. That's number one. Number two is the media and the public want to make this big scene about the political leader talking about the House Negro comment. Now, I would say this. Again, we need to have the conversation. And number two, most of us here on the island has had a discussion one way or next with whether it be friends, family, or whomever, whether it be in a serious capacity or in a joke, where we don't even refer to it as nice as Negro. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we all understand.
And the point of the matter is that we want to create an environment of taboo. It's a taboo discussion. So we don't want to talk about this in a public domain. We don't want to have the people and players involved, and the people and players is the nation as a whole, you know, because it affects all of us. All of us. And again, we as a multicultural country, we do not have room for this type of mentality among our people. And I would say, yes, let's talk, let's put it in the public space, let's have the discussion. Who's calling who what? When did this start? How did this come about? Why after the segregation that we had on the ground when the oppressors was here, bringing whomever, whether it be slaves, indentured workers, or whatever to the island. My point is this. We got our island and we've become independent. We've had control of all the resources and everything this island had to offer. And to date, after 50 plus years, no leader of any political party has ever taken the initiative to truly bring betterment to the nation and the people as a whole, in bringing our nation to a level where we are self-sustainable, as well as being able to create and produce, whether it be artistic measures or skill sets in intellect or even local manufacturing or whether it be whatever. Our people are too good of a people with too great skill sets that we have a sector of our society leaving the shores, going into other first world countries and making these countries greater, I have to say. You know what I mean? And we're left here with a deficient land where we have a political system with bodies that is hemorrhaging our economy, and the people are not benefiting in any way, form or fashion. And at the end of the day, we have to not look at this as something taboo. We have to look at this as something that we need to face head on and truly have the discussion. Yes, people may want to say Philip is not politically correct and listen, we should not want any more sugarcoating on the feces that's been fed to us for over 50 plus years.
That makes it so palatable.
but it's real. We need to know and hear and see it as it is, because it's the only way forward for us as a nation at this point. We can't try to forge forward with lies or sugarcoating or facades. We have to face the issues that we're dealt with as a nation. All issues, whether it be a financial, economic, social, listen, it's ethics across the board. And you know, we have adopted a way in which we conduct ourselves, conduct business, and conduct our politics that I think that we have the history to show, and we are here now presently today to look outside and see the environment that we presently have. Yes, it hasn't fallen apart altogether, but we know that we're in a place that we're not safe, we're not comfortable, and we're not making money, and we're under a lot of pressure as a nation.
We know it could be better.
Exactly. That's the point. And you know, you have people such as parts of the mainstream media that has an agenda, whether it's a personal agenda or one that has been handed down to them by their handlers. Again, they're doing an injustice to the population of this country, because their true agenda and mandate is to bring the information to the population again for them to be able to make better decisions, because with more information is the greater opportunity you have to make better decisions. But when you are controlling information going into the public space and bending it and putting the spin on it, again, to invoke different thoughts and to put the people's mind into a direction or a gear that, again, Christoph said it, it's so ironic, just like this, in the middle of an election, you have now the narrative in the public space saying that the PEP and its leader is racist. And let me tell you, for the time I've known Philip Alexander, like Felicia said, this is this person, there's no bone in this man's body that indicates to me in any way, form or fashion that he is any part of racism. He no, Trinidad and Tobago, it's all propaganda. And that's what I'm saying. I'm putting my own reputation and my own head on the block. And my point is, this is all propaganda being placed into the public space. And for this media person, what's his name? Kijan or whatever. Listen, my message I have for this individual is this. I said before, we as a nation has to have this conversation. And if you think someone calling you a house Negro is something for you to take the measures that you have, but yet you've had people who've been in office who had to account for their tenure, for the portfolio that they were holding, and yet the same media have not taken opportunity to scrutinize these people. And we're talking about this for the existence of our independence. I mean, politicians has always been able to do whatever they wanted to do without having to have accounting to the people. And you know, I'm saying this, the Progressive Empowerment Party coming into office, our mandate would be for the media to scrutinize everything that the Progressive Empowerment Party is doing. Because that is what we want you to do. It's your job. And by doing that, you now give clear idea to the population as to what is being done, what is not being done, if there's cost overruns, and you know what, if the media doesn't ask certain questions, we'll put the questions in the public space. Because if the media does not know what their job entails and how they need to acquire their information and how they need to pass that information on to the public, we would be more than happy to show you. And I'm not saying that in any disrespect in any way, but the point of the matter is that we have the history to show, to know exactly what the consumption of information has been by the population through media. And again, you know, we are not God's gift to politics. We are regular people that have critical minds, and we choose to step outside the box and look at the entire picture and make sense from nonsense. And I've said before, the think tanks that the PEP has within its bowels now, of the people that has come together, Trinidad and Tobago, you must take your hat off to Mr. Alexander, because he's done a wonderful job in compiling the sweat equity and the mind equity that the PEP has within its time, within its bowels, in order for us to move our nation forward. And this is absolutely real. And again, we invite every citizen, 1.5 million of you, come down to 19 Stanmore Avenue, 12 noon, any given Saturday. We're open to the public, and scrutinize the policies that we're putting forth, which is just 21 for our first 5-year tenure.
You can find it online as well.
And again, there's a, excuse me?
You can find the policies online too.
Yes, you can find it online on Facebook, as well as we have videos and whatnot on YouTube. You know, scrutinize the party, Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, you have questions, you have your neighbors or friends or people that you know that is putting questions in your mind pertaining towards the Progressive Empowerment Party. Listen, don't sit back as we've been sitting back for the last 50+ years. Get up, come down to the office and scrutinize, ask the questions, and be real, because at the end of the day, this party is not for us. We've created this for the people, and our directive is not to simply shove anything down the people's throat. If you have a question, you have an issue, communication is the key, and we need to know exactly what you feel, how you think, and if there's a resolution that can be met, is for us to put our best foot forward in meeting that for the people, because again, we are servants to the people. Our purpose and plight in trying to acquire governance for Trinidad and Tobago is to serve you, the people, and to create a proper system of transparency and accountability, so we are able to do that for you, to be transparent to you, the people, to be accountable to you, the people, and to make that system be set in stone, So any other administration outside of the Progressive Empowerment Party chooses to come into office because the people say so. The point of the matter is that we want to ensure that the people have that right from now to the existence of this island on this planet. And that's my 2 cents for the morning.
All right, well said. Well said. Indeed, always could guarantee Mr. Defoe is going to come really good. He put it together so nicely. People, you have come into a situation, you come into a position, you're hearing them say, the party is not for them, it's an engine for you to make a change. You see the change, you see any problems you have, and you're down in your head somewhere, like you say, a quiet moment, you're lying in your bed at night, you're in the shower, you tell it, wherever it is, somebody have a quiet, private moment, you're thinking to yourself, I don't like certain things outside home. You have a problem with certain things. And somehow you can perhaps see there is a political reasoning behind it, and you need to make that change. You're accustomed to doing things a certain way. Every election, you're accustomed, and you're changing. You keep changing your leader, but you're not getting the hole in the road fixed. You're not getting the water fix coming regularly to you. You're not having electricity problems, and you're not supposed to have these problems. The garbage not getting picked up, the bush not getting cut. Simple things, but it's a big thing to others out there. You're wondering to yourself, you keep changing really, but this not happening. The PP is giving you a chance to put other thoughts into it and say, hey, if it's failing the way you're going, we should make a change. You have to make a change, you know. That's the only way you're going to make the difference. Make a change. Maybe the same word is synonymous words are using there, but people, that's what it is all about. Alright, we just have a couple minutes to go before we get to the top of the hour. And of course, you know, there are the 2 local government candidates in the studio this morning. And I have to talk to them. Yes, yeah, I'm talking to both of you this morning about your communities. I have some, I'm going to put this out, some good questions, some bacchanal questions to you all.
Looking forward.
We're not slinging no mud. We're not slinging no mud, but you know, we want to do some comparisons. Indeed, because you know, we like, as the public, you know, we like a mud, we like a bacchanal, we like something to laugh at in the end, and we love something to meme for the rest of the time. But the time is coming closer and closer. Local government elections, it is the barometer, if you will, a political barometer for the 2 parties, 2 major parties out there, to see how strong they are, how much relevance they have in these communities that have been a certain way for a length of time, and they have people in these communities saying, hey, you know, I'm fed up with this. But what is more important to you? This way, I think to yourself, political pride, or perhaps getting what you want fixed. I don't know. That's the question. Quick question before we go to the top of the hour. What do you think people should do? Live with their political pride, or perhaps make a choice to make betterment?
Well, Kevin, I don't think we'll be sitting here if we thought the first answer.
I was thinking the same
I
thing.
mean, it's 8:56 on a Sunday morning. I need breakfast, yes.
4 minutes.
I need breakfast, yes.
That's what
but
I
I'm
say. What
sitting
you saying
down
is you
here
can't
talking.
represent the people without breakfast.
I am saying that I would not be here without having breakfast if I did not believe that change wasn't the answer. That people, it's time that they realize that the options available to us are not even options anymore. So they shook hands in unity. That's good. You all are unified in destroying this country. That's all I can see. The only unity I can see here. Thank you for that. Thank you for the 6 years of that.
Quick one.
Yeah, the same thing. I was just thinking as you asked the question, I was like, you know how much I wish I was in my bed right now. I mean, I worked last night till 3, and then all day yesterday we were busy with the pep stuff. I mean, all week actually. So when I think about the amount of sacrifice, I just remind myself I did this because I was fighting for change, and to give the people the opportunity to choose change. So we have a short fight until the elections. We're going all out.
Yeah, because you know it's coming all out like general election. They're going to be looking at it because it's the test to see how relevant you still are. That's what it's going to come down to.
Actually, I find it should come down to the days. I don't think so.
I would love that.
Well, you know they have. You know there are some people out there, and they're not exactly of the most courageous of nature. You know, if it comes to, even if it does get to that, you know, you gotta go there ready to have your money in your back pocket because it's going to be flying. Names going to be called. They're going to have all the bacchanal there because it will come down to attacks on character, attacks on what you did. Instead of the issues, because they appeal into the bacchanalistic nature of the chimneys. Jingledonians, if you will.
In a debate, Kevin?
Yeah, you know that's where it's going to degenerate into, I think.
No, because a proper debate does not happen like that.
I know.
A proper debate, there are questions based on issues and how people would deal with the issues. And because, I mean, we have seen it already and how it's done in America. And I think once we did it here as well in Trinidad. So I don't think it's going to be dealing with mudslinging and all of that, because again, you have a nation that is going to be watching the behavior of the candidates, and if somebody comes with any mudslinging, I think the moderator would be the one to put a stop to it and keep them focused on the question that has been posed to them. So I don't think it really would come down to that sort of type of debate at all.
I wonder who could be a good moderator for such a debate indeed.
Yeah,
Nobody, because you know so many people are politically aligned in our society. Who could be a good moderator?
No, we have some good people. We have some good people who can do the job of the moderator, and we do have some good people that would be able to come up with some good questions based on what is going on in the country at the moment, and who would be able to manage it quite well. I have faith in my people.
All right. All right, people, with that, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. Afterwards, we're going to be back. Right here, of course, on our senior morning with the PEP on More FM on 4.6.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates accepts no
I'm surprised I wasn't expecting that. We're just
by the talk shows or any other information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth that you have to judge.
Barataria.
However, we say right.
We come in.
Statements made. In this time,
Belmont.
Because I was watching it, I said, "What time
We come in.
drag it on to kill it up to the time." Because I want to change topic for the next hour.
to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the public.
Oh, get out. Get out. Get out. I had so much, I want to say so much, but nah, at the end of the day, I want it's Felicia's and Christoph's time, you know, because we need to bring people aware. We have to make Christoph and Felicia be aware. People need to know they exist for Barataria and Belmont.
Am I Tonita?
Oh my gosh. No, but it's real, and I'm happy you brought the discussion up, because I personally believe that we need to put it in the public space on a grander scale, because the discussion has to be there. We must force the discussion where the racism topic is concerned, because we have a level of tribalism and segregation happening on the island, and you know.
I get messages, people asking me if I go to all there, if I did know all the races, if I know as I'm a PLM friend, and all telling me how the party racist, how like this same thing. Like, I mean, he have his ways of. This is a man who's decided he's going to have to ask all the most racist questions he asks on Facebook. When you look at him, what you think about him? If everybody believes he's a security guard and he's really a lawyer, I was like, I just leave.
It's been ridiculous, bro. For the past couple of days, I myself have had people, friends and family members, bracing me saying, well, so that is what your political leader is about, is about calling people Negro and all them kind of thing. And I had to rock back and say, so let me ask you a question. When the people that in office, for how much years gone by, when they talk out of time or misbehave in public office, why all they don't jump up and have things to say where they are concerned? Because you are supporting them at the time? Or because I will tell you, in the event Mr. Alexander does any type of bullshit, he knows for fact the executive will nail him to the cross. It's not like he can walk away and do whatever he wants to do. In fact, anybody within the executive or the party for that matter, having to misbehave in public office, at the end of the day, this is not what we're coming into this for, to have an opportunity to misbehave. Is enough misbehaving take place for 50 plus years, and we need to wake up and realize that, listen, what we have is something greater than what has been taught to us for over 50 plus years, and we need to understand. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Nah, but
you
still.
know, one thing, Anthony, one of the things that I look forward to when the Progressive Empowerment Party comes into power is the behavior of politicians in Parliament. That is something I am so looking forward to. Because
Yeah, no more roti politics.
well, not just that, but the behavior that's going on now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like children in a classroom.
Yeah, it worse
misbehaving,
than that. It worse than that.
Right?
You watch the Parliament.
Big man, big
Yes,
man.
I do.
Big
I
man
do.
and woman. And you
Yeah.
telling me these people have doctorate and how much master and all kind of
Yes,
degree. Boy, and you know, to sit and watch these people behave in this sense. It breaks my heart, boy. It makes me feel I really want to be someone to say I'm proud to be Trini? To sit down and watch that, and that is what the whole world is looking in and watching as to these supposed to be the leaders of our country.
Correct.
And then people now want to look at Mr. Alexander and jump up and bawl, oh, he's not prime ministerial, he's not of the political cloth, he's not politically correct and all of this tralala. So any one of them that's been so-called politically correct for the past 50-something years, have they done for the people what Mr. Alexander has done in just the last year and a half in educating the people, bringing the information into public space, letting people understand what their rights are, and as well as facing our taboo issues head on, because exactly how Mr. Alexander would talk on his live or in conversation, the point of the matter, each one of us, one time or next, behind closed doors, whether it's with family, friend, or foe, the point of the matter is that we speak in the same way, in the same sense, in the same light, and yet we want to turn around and nail Mr. Alexander to the cross because he's choosing to put that information into public space and speak. What's that?
You're talking, you can't
You-
if this going live.
But still, I mean, we just need to face it. We need to face it, Trinidad and Tobago. We need to face the racism issue and the division issue we and our citizens are dealing with. Period. We have to have the conversation head on. It can't be taboo anymore. And I actually support Mr. Alexander for speaking his mind the way we would speak behind closed doors or in our little gala or wherever the heck we are, because we speak worse than that, Trinidad and Tobago, and we know that no matter how much we want to be hypocrites towards the cause and say whatever, the point of the matter is this is something that needs to be faced direct on a national level, because we can't consider this to be a taboo discussion anymore. We know as a nation, as an entire population, that there is a level of segregation and racism happening here in Trinidad and Tobago. What's that? Are you ready to come back on? All right.
Yeah, and then he'll come back on and he'll be quiet.
That's all right. All right, people, let's get back inside of things going here on a Sunday morning, a PEP Sunday morning, of course, on FM 104.7. As I was saying to you, we have the local government candidates here in studio with us. Felicia Hogan, of course, Christoph Samla. Now, Christoph, we're hitting you first this time. You are the candidate for the Barataria area.
Yes, sir.
Local government. You're living there for your life. Yeah.
So,
You know the problem. You know the problems in your community. As the candidate coming up with that, you're feeling that you could do better than the candidate there is now. You're feeling like you could do better than who's the representative now, and you see the problems. Tell us some of the problems that you have that you're going to be dealing with.
well, dealing on the ground, the biggest issues that cover the entire district is sanitation, which led to mosquitoes and sandflies, as well as security. Security is a big issue because in Barataria there are about 4 major streets with businesses, and they all feel unsafe. They all have this extra burden now of having to hire police officers while they're off duty to protect their businesses.
Police officers while they're off duty. Police officers supposed to be doing that.
That's another issue to be discussed altogether.
PH security, if you will.
Yeah, PH police. Right? And all these are touchy topics, but they need to be addressed because the business community are crying out. It is literally now an extra tax that they have to pay. It's an overhead cost to the business now. So even people who work in their own businesses to save that money have to put all that money in terms of security. Why are we failing them? Why can't they feel safe as a business owner? So those two, and then well, in general, there's just a lack of maintenance of the infrastructure. I mean, they have pretty good infrastructure in Barataria in terms of drainage, in terms of recreation, and that sort of stuff. But it just needs a little better maintenance, the roadways, the pavements, that sort of stuff. But I honestly tell people there's a lot less work than Felicia has got out of her because they have a lack of infrastructure. We just had a lack of maintenance.
So, who is the current representative in the
Well, he passed away, that's why we have the by-election.
That's true, that is true.
But he was a PNM councillor.
So, you believe you could do a better job? The public's response to you as well?
They like it so far. They like the idea. They like the zeal. They like the policies that we discuss. And the biggest thing right now is really to get them more informed about who we are, what we stand for. Because once they get that, they usually sold on the spot.
So if you get the position, you get the job, you may have some work ahead of you.
Definitely,
You
definitely.
have to do a lot of mind changing, perhaps the suppliers of what you need to get your community fixed.
Well,
Improved.
I decided to start from now in terms of my campaign. So instead of just going and hashing out and mudslinging at each other or pointing out the lack of maintenance that all the residents are quite aware of, I decided to go a different approach in my campaign. So that's why I'm hosting a family day this Saturday, 7th of July,
Okay.
in Barataria. How I designed it was it's an all-force competition because I believe nothing brings Trinis together better than cards. To enter, you just need to be a registered elector for the District of Barataria. No cost, nothing. Come out, make sure you're an elector, and you're in the tournament. There's a $1,500 cash prize, as well as a family day, otherwise with lots of activities and stuff. In the grounds opposite St. George's.
Because you hear the date, you hear the location, you hear what it takes to get in onto it. It's going to be a nice line.
Yeah, it's just a nice line. The whole idea is to bring the community together, knock cards with the neighbor you didn't know you have. Let your children and all sweat with your children on the road. Pardon?
PH Police going to be there.
Well, we're trying to have them on without the extra cost.
I see.
Yeah.
Alright, once they're there to make sure that people are safe and because you can't have fun unless you feel safe.
Definitely. But I mean, all that's underway already, getting everything in order for that.
That's it. When the family days for people to see and say, yes, this is who the candidate is. We're hearing his policies. Of course, you're going to have to repeat your policies. You have a nice little. I'll show you. I have a nice little speech to give them.
The PEP team is ready to answer everybody's questions, to get them registered, to inform them on anything they need to know because it's not just me. There's a lot of hardworking people behind this thing, and they'll be there to answer the questions. I'm really not too keen on talking down and talking at people. I'd rather be on the ground and walk around and meet each one of them personally. Right?
You gotta be amongst the people.
Exactly. I'm not the one to be on a stage and talk at people. I honestly hate that.
Okay.
So it'll just be to introduce myself. I don't know. Look, this is the face to look out for, and just come and talk to me while I'm on the ground. You know?
Just have to speak for that.
No, well, that's the plan.
Alright, so you know who your opponent is.
Yeah. Opponents.
Your opponent, so you believe you could do a better job than they can.
Yeah.
Because you know they're promising the world outside there now as well.
No, but the difference between us and them is the people behind them. Right?
Okay.
We, like I said, we have the hardest working team. These people work their 9 to 5s and then spend every minute in between that they aren't spending behind getting this mission done. And no money behind it either.
So I say again, you know who your opponents are.
Right.
You know they have a certain advantage in the fact that they're coming up as an established group.
Right.
In a manner of speaking, you know they don't really have to do anything to win that spot.
No, but what
You
is
have
the
to-
track record of the people that they are established with? So I mean, even if the candidates are good people, what is the track record of the people behind them? Because they had office and they have stuff to show.
You are show them you are the better candidate.
Exactly. Exactly.
How you gonna do it? How else can you show them other than
Without
talking to
getting
them,
the
other than the
opportunity.
family? What else are you gonna do for them?
Well, I mean, we're working on getting a full list and catalogue of all the things that are wrong in the community. So even if, God forbid, they don't elect us to represent, we will continue
You'll have
to
to list
represent
a point
them.
out, hey, this is still an
Exactly, you could still say, listen, all the businesses on 12th Street said they have an issue with sanitation in terms of sandflies and mosquitoes. This needs to be addressed. Councillor or not, bring it up to the councillor.
I think there's a security issue in that because we've seen too many WhatsApp videos of robberies going on inside in the area.
Right.
And I don't think people don't feel safe.
You know.
I know I don't feel safe. I don't live there. To me, I ain't going inside there.
Mm.
I feel at risk. I don't want to feel at risk. I want to feel safe. And this is me as an outsider speaking. For the whole country, you want to feel safe, not just in one area. You want to feel safe all over. Yeah, and Christopher, you're planning to deal with the security in the area because businesses have no problem.
Correct.
And they can't just be hiring the PH police for that. I think you need regular police patrols. I would
Exactly.
imagine to be around a visible presence.
Correct.
Because
And not
unless-
just driving by, because the police station is located along one of the busy streets. But you don't just want a police jeep driving by every 5 minutes. You still want to know, hey, they slow down, they stop, they pay attention to what's going on. The business owners take note of all these things. They know that there's a lot of police traffic,
Mhm.
but they know they aren't being paid attention to.
Yeah, you mean, yeah.
Because they could be getting robbed right there and the police will just zip by and nobody will ever know. So in terms of presence, they want to feel the presence as well.
Yes.
Not just police saying, okay, well, we're here.
So I have a plan to deal with it, to address the police. on
Well,
this
we in the Progressive Empowerment Party have talked about community policing a long time now. So in terms of getting that initiated, local government does have a big say along with central government in terms of policing.
So
So
at
we
this
can try and
point
implement.
in time, this is local government. They can't change with the community policing. They have a plan to deal and to address the police in the area. Let me say, just after days after the election, you get the spot. You have a plan to go there in the same week to say, hey, officers of whatever station, this is a plan we would like to have laid out to deal with the security in the area. Because with security in the area, commerce is, or people obviously going to come out and spend. And that's
Right.
what you want. You want people to feel comfortable to come out and spend and have a good time. Not lock up in their house.
Correct.
You have a plan.
Yeah. Well, the community policing is like foot patrols and maybe even a little bike where police are there on the ground. They're aware of what is going on. They can interact with the public on a daily basis. Give them that sense of comfort. And as that grows, remember, just look at it this way, if Barataria in itself could feel comfortable and be walking up and down 6th Avenue and 3rd Avenue and 12th Street and have it as busy as it, and looking that busy, it will promote business. It will bring others into the area to shop because now they would feel comfortable as well. So again, it starts with the police being there, present in the community and making those people feel comfortable first. And then they would promote their own economy and build up. And that's how you grow, but you need to start with your people feeling safe.
Yes. Alright. What about the issues of sanitation in the areas?
Alright, well, sandflies, they reproduce using decaying organic matter and humid
Like,
settings.
oh, that sounds like to me.
Right, and well, flies use the stagnant water. So a lot of the drains aren't maintained. They have grass growing. When they do cut the grass, they put the grass with a bunch on the side.
Like I said, areas.
Right, and when you leave the bunch of grass on the side of the road, that's a breeding ground for sandflies.
And that's something. It happens out here too. They cut the grass and they leave the pile on the side of the road.
Right.
And it stays there for weeks until it just all over. It just
Exactly.
goes right back to where it was. All the dirt, everything.
And washes back right into the drain and blocks the drain all over
It
again.
has to be just when you cut it and you pile it up, move it one time.
So simple management issues like that every Trinidadian notices. Question is, why aren't our elected officials doing something about it? You said it, and I'm sure everybody else thought about it already. But we need to demand better from our elected officials. And are you hearing them talking like this? Are you hearing them saying, listen, this is issues we are identifying, issues we want to address? Nobody's doing that.
I'm not trying to run through here. So is the water and electricity supply in the area? On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
I haven't had any complaints at all about the utilities for the area. I know water is an issue across the country. But in terms of long-term issues and that kind of thing, Barataria has had a pretty good utility supply.
Barataria is one of those places how often they get what they get like once a week, if they have a tank, it will survive.
Well, you need a tank, yes, and most of the houses already developed around it. So I mean, the supply is consistent enough that having a tank would rally you for it.
So we don't have a tank, I have a problem there.
Well, I mean, nobody built any houses as of recently, and if they do, they know that that's proceeded. It's the same applies to me.
I understand.
But I mean, where I live, we have 6 tanks, and sometimes water goes for more than a week.
Yeah.
And even the 6 tanks are
Yeah,
gone.
I passed through it, so I know. I
Right,
know
so
the
I
story.
mean, Barataria might get it every once in a while or whatnot, but it's not to say it's a regular issue that plagues that one thing.
Alright, but you think it's an issue perhaps that could be addressed? Because there are times when you have no water as well.
Well, if need be, then it needs to be addressed as a councillor's job. But in terms of looking for rooms for improvement, that needs to be done on a national level, not specific to Barataria or through local government.
It's still a representative.
Right.
What's a representative?
Of course.
That's what we're talking about here. Alright, can
I would
Stump you
like
with perhaps.
I would like to say something, Christophe. You know, during the rainy season, especially around Maritime Building, there has a serious issue of flooding.
Right.
You know, could you tell the listeners what would be one of the solutions that you'll be looking at in terms of solving that problem?
Well, usually the floods are caused by different reasons. Is either the drainage itself is blocked, or sometimes the bank bursts. So depending on which one it is, but both need to be addressed in terms of, like I said, the drains need to be properly maintained, which leads to the smaller cases, and then the big cases when the bank bursts, which again is all to local government, that falls under national government.
Yeah, but as a councillor, would you be advocating?
Definitely, because at the end of the day, that's a concern of the people. And sanitation, like I said, sanitation, drainage, those stuff fall under local government. So again, we'll just be advocates, and noise in central government is to get this stuff done. But I mean, everybody knows and has these solutions. It's just that they aren't being represented in government.
There are going to be problems within the areas where you actually have to come out there, put people a crew out there. You anticipate problems and have a solution maybe to deal with them. Whatever blocks they might put up to say, they wanted to get the drain clear now.
Right.
It sounds great, look back, but when you're trying to get it done, they have blocks putting up saying why you can't get it done now. Because I would like to think a lot of people come up into the politics wanting to do the best for their people. But it's when they get there they realize there are problems. That's when you start seeing why they're not seeming to be looking for this, because of the bureaucratic issues that are put up, stumbling blocks put up in their way.
Right. Well, in terms of that, there isn't much we can do in that besides be as transparent and open to the public as to what blocks we face.
Can I add to that?
I'm coming to you just now.
Oh gosh, I can't.
Yeah. So let's just say there was a meeting of the council and it was rejected for whatever reason, possibly persecution because we're the outside party in the council, right? Because that's everybody's fair. If I put you there, then for sure we're not going to get anything done.
It's weird because it should get done anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So one thing is to be transparent, and the other is I would like, and actually I trust that the party would be willing to take up my back in terms of taking legal action if there's need for that.
Transparency is a big one, I'd say.
Well, that's all. You come back and you be real with the people and you say, listen, I raised the issue, this is what was said, this is the notes in the meeting, and you just be open to the public.
You have to keep pushing and pressing at it because they tell you no once. You have to try again, you have to keep pushing.
No, you will try, but again, you come back to the public and say, listen, I did try, this is it here, this is why it was rejected, this is who rejected it. You be as transparent and open as possible.
No, you're going up against a system that's sit on there for a while.
Correct.
And strong in itself being there. And if they want to block you, they can block you. They have to keep harassing at them, picking at them. So to do something. And as I said, the transparency is important because people, you have to understand. He's trying. You have to, and I know you want to see him try. That's the thing. We want to see our representatives try. We don't want them to give up. and just lolling back. No, we want to see them try. And we want to, if they're failing, we want to know. And we want to know that they're still pushing at it, because they have to keep throwing a light on it, a spotlight on the problem, and perhaps who blocking the problem, keep pushing at it. And I think that's what we're going to be doing.
Exactly. I mean, hopefully a little showing it and putting it out in the public space might make them a little scared and get them to really address the issues, you know?
So he knows the problems. He knows the problems of the area. He have a plan to deal with them. He knows it's an uphill battle, but he's going to deal with it. Christophe Samal is going to be dealing with the problems of the Barataria area. So people could be rest assured you are the man for the job.
And if they aren't, again, come out on Saturday, come meet me, talk with me, and let me convince you.
Ask him the questions
Correct.
that bothering you. You have questions, I know you have questions bothering you. You want to know who this man is, who he feel he is, where he come from. Come and ask him.
Come and ask me.
You ready to ask those questions? You must have seen him in the neighborhood already, but you didn't know who it was. But look, come and see who it is now. Say, hey, that is the man there. Talk to him, get to know who the man is, because he wants to represent you. You want to know who he is, you want to know what he's good for, what he's going to do. The only way is to come and ask him. You can listen to me if you want. You know? I mean, I think I'm pretty good at it. But seeing is believing. Come and meet the man on a Saturday is what he is saying. Alright?
Before you go to Felicia, I think that the current government will be shooting themselves in the foot if they were to try and block Christophe from accomplishing some of the things, some of the solutions. And the reason for that is we only have about 2.5 more years to go before general elections. And I have said this before, Christophe is not going to be on his own. He will have the support of the Progressive Empowerment Party behind him. And if there are certain issues that are coming up and he cannot get the solutions done by the current government, then we will put it out there in the public domain, and keep highlighting it, because at the end of the day, if current government is not prepared to do what is required to make the lives of the citizens in the constituency a safe one and a healthy one, then people are going to start asking the question, why am I voting you back into government? If because the councillor is not of the party, right, why are you holding the community to ransom? So I think it will work against them in the next upcoming general elections if they were not to assist Christophe in getting the things done for the community of Barataria.
We're just hoping that they'll put country first and party first.
Well, the thing is, it's...
To hurt him just for the sake of making
but that's
him
how
look
it
bad.
is.
That's how it is.
Let's be real. That's how it is. He's not a PNM candidate. Therefore, you're not going to get anything done. But really, what we as a party have to do is to keep highlighting the fact that the current government is not assisting the councillor, irrespective of which party he belongs to. They are not assisting him in getting the things done for the community and for the people. Because at the end of the day, we are all going to be the servants of the people.
Public servants.
Right? And it is going to raise the questions when it comes to the next general election. Because at the end of the day, the current government cannot say that they are responsible for what goes on in that community if nothing is being done. They cannot use that as part of their strategy for trying to gain the votes of the constituents.
Okay.
So they really need to think about that.
Alright, so Felicia, that's it. You're going up for Belmont. Belmont East. You know the problems in your community. You know who's been there, what they've been doing, and issues in your community. How do you plan to deal with that? What are some couple issues in your community that you're ready to deal with, that you think should be dealt with?
There are a couple. The garbage disposal is a big one, particularly for the people in Belmont, Byron, Orson Lane, Farrar Lane. They experience, and I've seen several quote-unquote dumping points, which are not actually officially sanctioned dumping points.
It's kind of hard to believe people would have a garbage problem. They really shouldn't have a garbage problem. I mean, that's nasty.
Yeah, it is, and I mean it's happening around homes, around shops and parlors. These are people obviously who don't want roaches and rats and these things close to their business space, close to their homes. I mean, on a walk through Boston Lane this week, they were complaining about You always tell when somebody is not from Belmont. But we have really tiny lanes. So the fact that we have to struggle to get these little small things paved is almost ridiculous to me. I spoke to a blind man who was walking. I asked him, how do you cope on these roadways where cars are speeding? He said that mirrors knock him very often. It's because we don't have proper pavements, we don't have proper speed signs, we don't have speed humps down here when you can't speed. The street is too small, two cars coming, a plan is coming. So these are some of the issues that the community experiences: water, poor drainage, etc.
Wow. And how you plan to deal with these? Well, a lot. How is your plan to deal with these things?
My plan is going to be a simple management strategy. I come from a corporate background. I have managed budgets. I've planned events. I have coordinated activities that focus on getting the most critical things out of the way and leaving the smaller things for after. So I'm looking at the problems, and a branch hanging over a man's house, to me that is critical. You don't want to wait until it falls and it damages somebody in his household, or it breaks, it destroys his property. You don't want to wait for that to happen. So while my opponents have been busy plastering their faces on walls and shops and etc., I've been actually speaking one-on-one to these people to understand and document their needs. Because yes, litter and rubbish might be an issue, but for the individuals themselves, they have their own personal experience of what is wrong in their communities. And as a collective, I want to look at, so we have in Belmont East 3,500 people. 1,500 of those people are having an issue with they're not getting proper, they need to get their roads paved.
Right.
2,000 of those people are having a problem with garbage. Prioritizing and deciding what needs to come first, what should be given your attention, and trying to meet the needs of the people. I say that this campaign is about representation. You mentioned that we're going to come against people who are not going to want what we
they vote for pride.
Yeah, and they're going to be the corporation, they're going to give us a hard time. I tell people this, I might be 5'1", and things that I look tall on the papers, but I'm only 5'1", I might be 5'1", but I'm a real formidable force, and I plan to literally be a thorn in the side of every organization that is going to give my people, or going to stop my people from getting what they want. And I say my people because their fight is my fight. I have an issue with the garbage on my streets as well. We had a dump and they removed it. Why not set a schedule? I can't believe it's 2018 and we have not yet figured out how to
There's no
dispose
schedule.
of rubbish.
The garbage trucks pass through every day.
We cannot yet figure out how to dispose of rubbish. And every single one of my walkabouts, I have seen the rubbish pile up, and I don't understand it.
That's true. I remember as a child being, I remember remembering certain places where there was loads of trash.
We spend money to put up signs saying no litter here, but we didn't spend money to put bins for people to put their rubbish in.
Irony of it all.
The irony of it all, And Belmont, we have, like I said, we have these small lanes. It's a community. If the community, if the residents know on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the garbage is going to be picked up at X location. If I want my rubbish picked up, I have to drop my rubbish at X location. It's a very small lane met by other bigger streets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 dumping points. This is where we can. We don't have that. We don't have that. And it sounds, to me, I'm like, am I oversimplifying the problem?
You're oversimplifying the solution.
Sorry, am I oversimplifying the solution? Because my opponents, they're saying that they know how to solve these issues now. And I'm like, how? What about this election made the solution so attainable? How do they now know that the answer to rubbish collection? How do they now know that there's an issue with rubbish when it is actually visible right across the wall from one of my opponent's house? Like, why is this now an issue? Yeah. Someone on the street pointed out to me, that's where one of the candidates lives, and look the rubbish right there.
Wow. It is not nice to go into any community and have to deal with a mountain of rubbish, the smell, the flies. As a child, I remember passing through down with mommy, and we know there were certain spots, and I was feeling funny feeling. Those spots still probably get in garbage. And it's not nice. It's not nice to have in anybody's community. The roaches, the flies, of course, the rats. And if you have a plan to deal with it, as she said, as Felicia said, a schedule should be. I mean, you can't say the garbage people are at fault. Some of them they can't say they're at fault. Now, the thing is this, I'm speaking from a garbage people here because I know some of them do this. You have to package your garbage good. You can't just fling it there. They like it when it's packaged nicely in a bag. Alright? Remember, they have to pick it up, and it makes it easier if it's bag. You can't just go and fling it there open and expect them to come and sanitize the street. They don't do that. They try their best to pick it up. Right out in the road, I see they try their best to pick up all the garbage that gets busted open. You know, but they know they can't get everything. They're not going to come and sweep out the street, and they can't do that. They're doing their best that they can.
Well, you see, to me, this is where education comes in. And local government and central government are closely linked. On a central level, we plan to every policy that the PAP wants to implement. So say decentralizing water management to the 41 constituencies. There's a level of education that's going to have to come with that, because each constituency, each representative for their constituencies would have to say, okay, we are now in charge of producing 1.5 gallons of water every month. This is now ours for our consumption. We need to let the people know things like, okay, brushing your teeth and leaving the tap running is not a no now.
People still do that.
Yeah, but education comes with progression as well. I plan to do the same thing. If I'm going to implement a proper waste management system within my district, I would like to hold a town hall to people letting them know, okay, XYZ can be disposed of and XYZ cannot. You can dispose of your stuff in XYZ bags, but you can't put your stuff in.
Yeah.
So a level of education needs to come with these systems as well. We need to work together, and I think, like Christoph points out, just being transparent with the people, letting them know, okay, these are the plans that we have, but this is how you need to assist us as well. It's a community, it's a group of people working together for the function and the upliftment of the environment.
Oh, say that again. With some emphasis to say it again.
It came very original. I don't know if I can remember it. Community, oh God, you see, I forgot.
A community is a group of people working together.
For the benefit, for their own benefit.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you see, when you're speaking,
It was nice.
Yeah,
It was
nice.
really good.
roll up, yeah, just roll up.
Well, that's what it is all about. You see, those of you in Belmont East, you know you have problems. You know they're there. You have somebody who might be growing up with these, or you're accustomed with these problems. But because being accustomed to a problem doesn't make it any better. It's not. It should not be a part of your life. If Felicia is having her plan here to make better, I mean, she has to live it too. She's living in the community. I don't know how the water situation is in the Belmont, but I would imagine for utilities, garbage, and water, all the problems, you have plans of addressing these by dealing with the authorities who could rectify these problems. And yeah, as I said, you're going to be a thorn on their side to make it happen, because these things should not be. I mean, garbage pile up, that's not right. No water, that's not right. Electricity problems, that's not right. Security, this is not right. These are things that everybody demands in their community and should be getting in their communities. This is what government is about. This is what we pay them to do, ensure that these things are there. And if they're not there, you have to be a thorn on their side. And the two candidates, I imagine, they're planning to be thorns on the sides of the authorities who are dealing with the issues that are bothering and plaguing their communities. Indeed, elections is coming up. Elections is coming up. And you all are on the ground doing your best that you can to let people there see this is who I am and this is what I'm going to do for you. You can't feel tired out of it. You gotta push. You gotta push, because even after you win, you know the work starts it. A lot of talk, a lot of bureaucracy I had to go through. You're gonna feel some frustration. I'm sure they're gonna fight you, but you know you have to push very hard for this. Can people be assured you're going to push and work hard for them?
Of course. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. We want to serve. We want to give them a real voice.
Want to serve. He wants to serve. So he wants to be a public servant. He's not taking up the title of king. He's public servant. Public servant Christoph Sandra. She's not queen. She's public servant for the whole.
And absolutely. Listen. No, listen. One thing people they say, and I don't think I can hide it even if I wanted to, is that when I am passionate about something, I get all on it. Like, the fact that I have taken up this fight for local government elections, it means that I am giving my all. I don't know if you all can hear. My voice is gone right now. I have been fighting Nicole Anthony, who has a run me home yesterday. He's like, Felicia, go over.
She does talk a lot, eh? She take over from Tony. When you have to give her the exercise, I'm not too screened.
I have the cold, I am battling the cold, I am tired, I don't sleep anymore, and I love every minute of it. There was my walkabout coming on Friday. On Thursday, I'm selling my agent. I'm selling my side. I feel I'm really lightheaded, it's time for me to leave. I saw someone who I didn't speak to before. I was like, hi, good day. Felicia, who was a candidate for family. Because I know that every person is another opportunity.
You might be tired with 100 people, but each of those 100 people is the first time they meet you.
Exactly,
Right.
and it's important to spread the message, and I want them to feel my passion, and I want Beverly's to realize that we have had the UNC. We have experienced both the PNM on a local and central government level. We have experienced the UNC at the national level as well. And now today, what is different in the community? What is different from our East? And if nothing is different, then give me a chance, because I want to fight this fight.
This is why they should vote.
Yeah, I want to fight for Belmont East, and I want them to know that they have a little firecracker in their house who fighting hard for them.
Alright. So Christoph, it's your turn now. You're on the platform. Why should the people vote for you?
For real representation, I'm sure all the listeners will agree with what I'm saying on their behalf.
You're on the platform, so let's hear you.
Well, like I said, I address the issues. I'm very vocal. I'm very passionate about what I do. And I just want to go and make noise on their behalf. I am tired of sitting at home, speaking with my friends and making noise in a circle. It's time to make noise to the right people, take the issues and take the solutions, and just be a pain until we get it done. And I'm sure that's what the people want, because they're tired of not having things done. They want that difference.
So when they come to you, and people are going to come to you and they know who you are, and they come into you and they bring in problems. They might bring simple problems that they might say, like a tree fall in their yard, who come into moving, this happens to a lot of people. A tree fall in your road, a big branch fall in your road. Not everybody going to come out and move it. They're waiting for some kind of authority to come and move it, because it might be blocking the road.
Right.
And it could cause, even if they push it to the side, it's still creating another problem in the road. You know, you gotta be out there to make sure somebody gets there with the chainsaw to cut it up and move it.
And I think
And not leave it on the side of the road, pick it up within the truck one time.
I think that's one of the advantages both Felicia and I has as well, because we have our youthful vigor on our side, and this job entails a lot of casework. A lot of casework. It's not no sit back in your office and rock back behind a desk kind of job. You need to be out there. You need to go from place to place, person to person. So you need that youthful energy to get
Can
that
you
done.
divide the time between what you do for a normal daily basis of earning a living and this conflict you see you can do it?
Well, I spent the past 9 years building my photography business, and at the same time, I recruited and trained a lot of guys underneath me for the same situation, because I realized as I grew, there were more jobs than I could handle. So, you train guys, you bring them up, and I have a whole group of guys capable of handling my business on my behalf that I can trust.
Say he don't spend no time doing what you do for the people, doing your own thing.
No. I've already put my job on hold just for the campaign, much less for if I do get into office.
So that's time for you too. People want to say that you're working for the people, not doing your own thing and you say for yourself.
Listen, it came down to this for me. I did not intend to be in politics, but I realized that I have a calling to stand up for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And this is my answer to this, nothing is going to stand in the way of me acting, fighting, and advocating on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing is going to stop me from doing that for the people of Belmont. Absolutely nothing is going to stop me from doing that for the people of Belmont East. So if you're wondering what my fight is going to be like, it's going to come real hot, and there's no stopping what I plan to do, because this, I take it on, like 100%, we fight.
And so both of you, you all know you all have an office. There's an office for the council for the area somewhere, right? And you have to be in this office at some point in time. I don't know.
There are designated counties that your constituents can see, but to me that does not stop me from doing what I did while I was campaigning. Why? Because I campaigned, am I going to stop going to see the shopkeeper who complained that he had garbage on his corner? Now is when I'm supposed to go to see him. Now is when I'm supposed to go and say, hey, Tom, Joseph, Harriet, and we had a problem with rubbish on the corner. 5 months after the election, I told you I was going to deal with it. How is it going for you? How is this new policy, garbage collection system working for you?
So you don't keep an office hours, like when you have to be there, you'll be out there talking to the same all the time. Because at some point, people are going to want to come to your office and talk to you. You got to make sure you're there.
Office hours, yes. Well, based on a schedule, of course, because if this is I know that local election government is a part-time thing, but what I'm trying to tell you is I don't want to treat it as a part-time. I don't want to, yes, office hours, okay, but I want to always know that I'm reaching out to the people in my district. I want to know that I'm following up. I want to know that they have my number, that they can call me, that they can never feel that Felicia is not accessible, that they can never feel that Christoph ain't care about them, he just campaign and then elections come, he win and he gone. That's not always it. I want them to know. I want them to come at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, Felicia, the tree look like it's going to fall. I want that because people need that. They need to know that office does not separate them from me. That I am always with you.
Because you know, if you're not in the office during the designated office hours to come and talk to them. That's not you.
No.
It's not the same thing with you.
Yeah, none of that.
I have now told Trinidad to make my number. I did not intend for it to be like that, but it's now probably officially designated as an official national number. Call me anytime you want, but for me, this is please.
And we'll have many other avenues as well, you know, using technology and otherwise to be accessible.
You want to say WhatsApp and then WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, Facebook. There's so much different methods of reaching out to.
Main thing is they want a response, huh?
Well, of course.
I can't do this today. I'm not in the mood for this. I remember these people don't care. You know, you deal it as I say it's a game. You might be the one man, but you're dealing with I don't know how much
10,000 people.
10,000 people, and for each of those people you are one man. To you, they are 10,000, but to each of them you are one, and you have to deal with them one-on-one if they want to be one-on-one. And
but
people going to call it something inconvenient because you don't know when a problem is going to happen. You gotta be there. You have to be there. And the man says he's willing, take a call. You take a call, he will take a message, he will get back to you. Reasonable. I don't imagine it take a week to do it because you're accustomed to that. No, you call him back the same day. Somebody might be a joke and get something done the same week.
right.
You will say, wait, well, a good vote. That's a good vote, and you'll feel good. That's what it's about, making that change. And that's what they're setting about to do. Give you Trinidadians, Togolanians, well, to Trinidad at this point in time, the opportunity for that change. You want that change. You know you want that change. You know what you want. You sit down complaining about it. You can't sit down and say you're accustomed to that. Accustomed to that doesn't make it problem go away. It does not. Guys, anything you would like to say again to your voters, potential voters outside there?
I just want to encourage everybody to educate themselves on, learn what local government is about, what powers they hold, what this election means to you, what your vote means to you, and with that education, I hope that people will demand better.
Me, I'm going to tell my people that one, it's been a pleasure meeting all of you because I have the advantage of Christoph in terms of just having a smaller area to cover, even though it's still feels like Belmont just
it might be small, but I think there's a lot more people in your area.
Yeah, boy, I feel like Belmont grew in size in the past since I got nominated. But it's been a pleasure, one, meeting the people, and two, I really want to encourage you, just like Christoph said, to keep educating yourself. Don't just take what you read and what you hear as facts. Think about it, dissect it, and decide what you want for yourself, what you want for your future. I asked the man, I said, how are you going to vote? He's like, well, for PNM. I said, why? And he said, because my family, they vote for PNM. I said, okay, what is one of your major concerns in the constituency, in the district? Well, rubbish. She said, and what the PNM representative said, she's going to
feel the best, the child.
No, he said he doesn't know. I said, so I used to be to vote that way. Well, I guess. And to me, that pointed to just not really being educated about, your options, about what you deserve, and that for me has been the hardest part of this, meeting the people who don't really understand that the well-being of the citizenry is the primary purpose and function of government. That is what they are there for. They are there to serve. Servants who lead and leaders who serve. I want to be a leader who serves.
I like that. Servants who lead and leaders who serve.
Yes, I can repeat that one. It's tattooed in my brain. I want to serve the people, and I want you people in Belmont East, I want you all to understand that we have had this rotating, exchanging hands of government for too long. It is not working in our country. It has not worked in our country. Belmont East can be one of the greatest communities. We have all the ingredients to make it one of the better and best communities in the country, yet it is suffering, yet people, the basic necessities we don't have. Think about that when you're going to that voting booth on July 16th. Think about where we are now as a country and where you want to be, because that is going to determine these elections. And I say I'm going to do my best, I say my 100%, my 1,000% forward, and I want the people to decide. I want them to know, you have three options, and you now make the best decision based on what you want for yourselves, for your family, and for the Belmont East community. And done for the day.
That's all right. Mr. Dog, any closing comments?
No, that was it. Just same as Felicia, educate yourself, because with education comes empowerment. And that's what gives your party its name and purpose. Educate, inform, and empower the people.
Alright, so now, Janice, Tony, you've heard everything the candidates have had to say. You've been working with them, you're helping them, you're pushing them. Why you have faith in them? Why you have faith in them?
I have faith in them because they are young, passionate, they are intelligent, they are well educated, and they have drive. They truly care about their constituency, and they truly care about the people who live in their area. They are also very dynamic, and they are also very determined. They are also aware that the party stands 100% behind them, so that if it is that they need assistance in terms of highlighting issues and bringing it out into the public space, they know that the party will assist them in that area. Trinidad and Tobago, the citizens of this country, we need to become educated, and we keep saying it all the time. We try to empower you, we try to educate you, we try to enrich, we try to ensure that you have the information that is needed to make decisions that will benefit you and your family. We have to wake up. We have to get over the racism that is being perpetrated. We go out there to the first world countries and we look around and we see a different lifestyle and we say, oh my God, why is it that we cannot live in this kind of environment? And then we come back home to the same old sin. Why I've had people say to me, I've been away for 10, 20, 25, 30 years, and I have now returned home, and it's as though nothing has changed. And it is really, really sad for them, because at the end of the day, they eventually make the decision to return to the first world countries. Mm-hmm. I know Trinidadians like to think that we live in a first world country, but this is not first world. I'm sorry to say it, and I think it's something that needs to be said over and over. We are third world, and until Trinidadians wake up and say, you know what, we want to get to being first world, then we have to change. We need to change our thinking. We need to change the way we behave. We need to change the current government in order to get us to being a first world nation. We are just a dot. They could lose us in London. They could lose us in Brooklyn. And yet we just don't see that. We just don't. Our education system, which is supposed to be the number one priority, is in a mess because we are not harnessing the minds of our children who are going to be the grown-ups of tomorrow. We, you, me, Felicia, we're going to be in our twilight years, and we need to ensure that the young people out there, are going to be capable of running this small island, and to ensure that we maintain a first world status, and that everybody, it's one people under one flag, and that everybody gets a fair chance with respect to all the opportunities out there, and that we can all live. I don't want to survive. I have 4 more years to go before retirement. I do not want to survive. I want to live. I want to be able to go out at night and know that I can be safe. I know a lot of people, by a certain hour, they're in their homes. They don't want to go out there anymore because they're not too sure if they're going to come back home to their families. So we as a people have to start taking stock of what is truly going on in Trinidad and Tobago, and make up our minds whether we want to be a first world country or continue as a third world country. Thank you.
Right. And Tony, why do you have faith in these two candidates for local government elections? What are your feelings on it? Why you have faith in them?
Well, I have faith due to having time to actually know the individuals and how they think, and the determination that they really have. Because again, like Felicia said much earlier, she didn't have to be here at 8 in the morning to be on Maracas eating shopping week or hanging out, or just sleeping in, or going to church, exactly, and same goes for Christophe. The point to that is that these are two young people that definitely is thinking outside the boxes, seeing a way and solutions in moving our country forward, and they have the determination. And on top of that, like Janice said, they both have the full support of the Progressive Empowerment Party in helping their job be more efficient, and also creating the environment of direct communication with their constituents or people within the community, where they actually know what's happening real time. So again, we can create proactive measures versus having to deal with reactive measures. So the political game and environment is going to totally change. Granted, the population chooses to give these two young people a chance in representing them, and I think they would definitely be the point of example as to what exactly the PEP, the Progressive Empowerment Party, is able to bring to the table as governance, as well as to the population at large. Because again, Felicia said it, we have to be leaders that serve and servants that lead. And that's our mantra, and is what we stand by. So again, for me, I give both Christophe and Felicia full support. And I mean, Trinidad and Tobago, you could not have two better candidates to represent you in both Barataria as well as Belmont, such as these two individuals that we have in front of us here today. So the ball is in your court, Trinidad and Tobago. You have an opportunity. I mean, there's nothing to literally lose, because we've voted both other parties, UNC and PNM, time and time again, and we still know what the environment is within our communities. We just truly need to give these two young people and these two individuals a chance to really open the population's eye in seeing what real representation is all about.
All right. All right.
And
So
I think on the 16th of July, when you go into that booth, one question I want you to ask yourself, just one. What kind of country would I like to leave? What kind of legacy would I like to leave my children? Remember, if you do not go out to vote, you vote for the winner. So ask yourself that question before putting your mark against whichever party you believe, which is your right, your democratic right to choose, that will give you true representation in your area and be able to deal with the issues and come up with out-of-the-box solutions that is going to make your area safe and a healthy one.
All right, so all said and done here, people. You got to get ready. The 16th of July is coming up, and of course, decisions got to be made. Put some thought into it. Yeah, well, this time. You have time. You have time. So now, you gotta look around and see the problems, know the problems, and think to yourself, how long did they? How long have they been there? With all the serious talk aside, yesterday was the curriculum, and I had a routine. It was alright. I said it was alright. I didn't say awesome. It was alright. I know maybe it's because of the fact it's all kind of low, so the gravy soaked in, and it was alright. I know people like the cafe
I
routine.
enjoyed my
It was
routine.
alright.
In fact, I had one for lunch and one for dinner. It was so good. I just love curry.
It was alright.
Was Janice paid to say that?
Not. No. I just love
You love curry?
This is not a paid person.
Hey, Janice, you love curry?
I love curry.
Thank you for the business was the curriculum. It was a resounding success. Again, thank you for the overseas teams that sponsored curry routine for the homeless in Portisville and Barataria and Samoa. Really appreciate it, and look out for the barbecue. Yes, we throwing a barbecue now.
More festivities are coming up.
More food.
Alright, people, so that's it for a PEP Sunday morning here on More FM 104.7. I'm Gavin DeFreitas, and of course, we institute today. We have the local government candidates, of course, Christoph Samuel for the Barataria area and Felicia Holder for Belmont East. Also, had Janice and Anthony Hifu here as well, doing what they can. You know, speaking, we're talking about the party and making that change. That's what it's all about. Even with this today, think about it. Just think about the situation. That's it. Okay.
Bye-bye, Trinidad. Say bye-bye.
All right.
We'll see you. Janice,
Have a great day, everybody.
we out. Vote PEP. Ow!